You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. It's Friday, February 23rd, 2024. Welcome to our weekly business and marketing news of the week. Joined by my friend, my partner, my good buddy, Chris Hansen. What's up,
man? How are you today?
It's Friday. We time for the news. You know, all is right with the world.
Hell yeah, baby.
Feeling pretty good. I as the podcast was coming on, late breaking news hit like my phone, like, right, we're going through our notes. We've got the articles and, we are a podcast after all. So, we like to serve up the info that our audience needs, and it's self-serving to us sometimes. So for the first time, this late breaking from Edison, it's a research firm that does like media research and all this stuff. First time we have crossed the barrier. More Americans are listening to on-demand audio than they are live radio. That just happened in the latest quarter. So more people are listening to podcasts, shows, audiobooks, all kinds of stuff. Audio that's not live audio, i.e. talk radio, those kind of things. We've passed the threshold.
Big.
Just means we're getting more popular, buddy.
I don't mind that. The people want the truth, and we're going to give it to them.
That's right. Especially when it serves our needs.
Even better. It's a win-win.
Yes. No, it's interesting because I think it follows the trends. Look, we live in a world where with technology and everything else, we want what we want when we want it, right? Everything's on demand. Your groceries are on demand. Amazon's made almost everything you want and your heart's desire on demand within a day, to a degree. But certainly media, TV, video games, all this stuff, content, you got to get it when you want it. You're not like waiting around. Oh, I can't wait till this comes on.
A more weekly TV guide. Oh, what comes on?
Yeah. What is happening? I'm not sure. Oh, I got to wait for the news. Well, now you go get the news. And even the news has kind of realized this. Like local news, it's at 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5:30, and 6. Like our local news channel. News is on from like 4 to 6 because they know that people are watching at different times and they want it to be topical when they do watch. So they're trying to kind of force feed it within the medium. And we, and I got a lot of people, friends that work in the news. I love you, but we all know that dinosaur is going away sooner rather than later. And so the reality, and it might just change. They're getting with the times with social and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, same thing with audio. You want to listen to your favorite show like the Radcast, or you want to listen to a ebook or some other show. I don't know why you want to listen to anything other than the Radcast, but if you do, other than like maybe, Vibe Science or other podcasts, but
I was going to say maybe Vibe Science.
Yeah. But other than those, but if you want to, if you're on the treadmill, you're driving home, you're coming back from a trip on a Sunday afternoon, you're in the car for 2 hours, you want to listen to what you want when you want. And so surprising it's taken this long, but you're going to see this continue to increase. That's the amount of time on-demand audio versus live audio. And I still think there's a place for talk radio and certainly live audio content with news and things like that. And even our show here, which is transitioning here shortly in the coming, probably April 1st-ish. We were aiming for February 1st, but we want to do it right. So we're getting the ducks in a row. It's going to have a little more topical stuff, but we're going to have a format and things like that that's, it's going to be some repeatable things that people, so you kind of know what segments are coming and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's still going to be pre-recorded and you'll know you can watch it or listen to it when you want, where you want. And so, interesting stat. Thought that was fascinating, especially about the podcasting in general. Another thing that's in that same study, Chris, and so for you, if you're listening out there and you've thought about, starting your own podcast, or you work for a company and you've thought about, hey, we need a company podcast. This same study says that listeners, people that listen to podcasts, are almost, it's like just slightly less, almost just as likely to listen to a branded podcast as they are one from a celebrity or star. So just for example, and I don't know that they do, and I don't want to start making things up, but okay, the Nike podcast, I don't know that exists. There's probably a version of it, but like a branded show that's started by a company, the audience and people's likelihood to listen to that versus the Shaquille O'Neal show is nearly equally likely. I.e., what that says is consumers don't see it a barrier to listen or to consider a podcast just because maybe the brand does it. They're going to give it a fair shake and a try, see if the content's worth it, or something they would subscribe to long term. I think that's more, armor and or reason for why brands should consider this, because I do think the medium is one of the future platforms for branded content. It already is here today, but in a world where ads and interruptions in people's flow of content and things like that are less and less tolerated and or effective, branded content rules supreme in making and getting brand recognition and moving people into your funnel for considering your products and services. Have you ever listened to a show and been turned on to a product or service, something that you weren't aware of, Chris?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Many times.
That's why the medium is going to continue to grow. And it's going to be this intersection of audio and video, because YouTube and other platforms, even Spotify that has the video portion. And if you're listening, we encourage you to go to YouTube, watch the video version. You'll see how attractive Chris is. You'll see how large I am as a human.
Big man.
And but in all seriousness, yeah. And as our new show rolls out, there's going to be even more dynamics from an audio video standpoint, because we do see that convergence. But I do encourage you. It is a different experience, especially when you get to awe at the vacay lounge there where Chris stays.
It's a good spot. We got a good spot down here.
So podcast is growing and on-demand audio is growing. And I thought that was a big deal, especially in relation to this show, but just in content in general. Because a lot of people out there listening, starting companies, already have companies, executives at companies. I'd get into the content game, my friends. Not just that shitty content on your blog. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That shit nobody reads, that you're trying to gate, so you're trying to get a lead. We know what you're doing. It don't work that well anymore either. But branded content does, especially when you bring value in long form format like this. In other news, this is cool. Love him, hate him, whatever. He's an innovator. Elon Musk, Neuralink, has first human patient able to control a computer mouse, through thinking. Neuralink, startup founded by Elon Musk, has successfully implanted a brain chip in its first human patient. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, who has reportedly fully recovered. Musk announced that the patient can control a computer mouse using their thoughts. The company aims to maximize the patient's ability to interact with the mouse. It's part of a broader effort to develop brain-computer interface technology. Neuralink intends to use this technology to address various medical conditions, including obesity, autism, depression, and schizophrenia. And pretty exciting stuff. Moving the mouse with your thoughts, brother. This is like...
I don't know what to think of it. It's badass, but it's also a little concerning. It's in the wrong hands.
Right. We got a few of those articles today. This is just the first.
It's coming. It's coming. We might as well be informed on it. But I think medically, if this is applied, what they're saying, it's game changing.
Yeah, it does. If everything becomes connected, it's like, can I just think of like Kai, one of our producers, managers here, is on his laptop here taking notes. Like I could just think, close his laptop shut, right on his fingers.
Exit. Yeah. Delete the paragraph.
Yes. But like, it's surely going to be more important things than that, but you get where your mind can go. And when it's less about, trivial stuff like that, more like hackers and everything else.
Yeah.
So
people hacking in your brain.
Yeah. And, or just thinking things, if they're logged into the wrong thing and they can think something or do something and it just happens. Yeah. Your mind can get lost on that a bit.
It really is a spiral when you start thinking how deep you can go. Yeah. Reminds me of Terminator for some reason.
Well, all this stuff is, some of the most forward-thinking people who wrote the scripts for these movies, like obviously we're connected enough and read enough articles and or interviewed enough people to know that once the computing power reached a certain level, that some of these things might come to fruition. Yeah. And here we are at the precipice, the beginning of all of it. And it's, I think we all just have to embrace the fact that innovation happens and that usually our worst fears do not come to life, that if handled and managed and governed properly, these things can be beneficial more than detrimental.
Yeah.
So, but I still want to, it's going to be amazing when like the quadriplegic starts walking or something from something like this. It's going to be
that would be fucking awesome, bro.
OpenAI just revealed new software that lets you create realistic video by simply typing descriptive sentences. OpenAI unveiled Sora, a new software enabling users to generate realistic video clips by typing descriptive sentences. This marks the organization's expansion beyond text and images into video generation AI. Sora can transform typed scenes into high-definition video clips. However, the emergence of AI-generated videos raises concerns about misinformation, particularly in the context of upcoming important elections worldwide. I saw this. Yeah, exactly. I played around with a version of this. Obviously, with Sora, I don't know that we can use Sora yet. They have some demos, but I played around with a version that actually links in with ChatGPT. That's another like plugin that does essentially you write what you want, and it brings up a fictitious person that will talk a script that is generated from your ideas from ChatGPT. Let me just say, that was a little freaky. I knew and have seen how far along this has come, but you literally can generate a talking head on the screen, regurgitating a script, and he looks, or she, I did a him and a her, and they look like a real person, and they look like they're just talking. They're talking that script that you just wrote for them. And
like these digital influencers you see that are just AI generated.
100%. And I would guess 8 out of 10 people would know that it was AI. Just the video, sure. And I created it in 2 minutes.
Give me the plugin. I want it.
And so
for marketing, I think there's so much opportunity there.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, you create your own spokesperson, essentially. Now, they obviously aren't famous yet, but you can make them famous. Just like they did these, start pumping them up on social media. Yeah. And until there's a live event somewhere that Fred can attend. No, man, I'll just be zooming in for that one.
Yeah. Fred can never make IRL events.
Yes.
One.
But it's crazy, man. And the technology's coming. I mean, it's just going to change the way things are done, and the speed and the opportunity in marketing is kind of endless. But then you go down the same path we were just talking about of deep fakes, and somebody's going to be mimicking. All of a sudden
you have the president of Mexico declaring war on the U.S. and it's all a fake script written out by a 15-year-old in their mom's basement.
I mean, you're getting to the point where it might literally take presidents or countries like getting in the room together and like the only way they can have conversation is in real life, because they won't trust that whoever they're talking to on the phone or on a video conference is like real.
Yeah. It's wild.
And, you could totally see, Facebook ads unintentionally like running with Donald Trump saying something that he never said, or Joe Biden saying something he never said. And there are, Secretary of State, like maybe not even them. It might be like the secondary or the tertiary people like doing things that might be more believable, but yet it's still fake with how crazy it is.
Well, we talked about that with Tom Hanks and the dental company, right? They used a deep fake of Tom Hanks endorsing them.
Yes.
Like, that's wild.
And so as marketers, you have to pay attention to this stuff and know, what the impact can be and how to use it, and leverage it for marketing channels and to streamline operations and do different things. So like, it's important. And at the same time, you got to hope that the powers that be are putting the right governors, that's what I'll call it, guardrails on all this stuff. We'll see. I think it's going to be messy for a little while. That's what I'll say. Because in their best intentions, and they always said, what the road to hell is paved with, right? Good intentions.
What? Oh, yeah. Heard that.
So we got to watch out. But it was still cool, I will say. It's an interesting, fun time we live in, but it can be a little overwhelming if you let your mind go down the rabbit holes too far. And so I think you need to be paying attention. And you know what? The Radcast is going to keep paying attention for you. So you come here so you get to hear about it. And if it gets real scary, we'll tell you about it. We'll be honest with you. That's what we do. We're taking the BS out of business, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. AI. It's all AI these days. And if you want to learn from me directly, join my newsletter, ryanalford.com/newsletter. Sign up. I give daily advice on marketing, personal branding, podcasting, life. Give that a shout. Join that. It's free. It's daily. Just like this show, give away our best advice. AI is shaking up online dating with chatbots that are flirty, but not too flirty. What the hell does that mean? They're flirty. That means they'll go, oh, you've got big muscles, or like, but they won't say, I'd like you to wrap that muscle around me, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's flirty versus non?
I don't know.
Anyway, this is our good friends at NBC, NBCnews.com. They love us after I told them to go fuck themselves after that Elon Musk article. The landscape of online dating has been revolutionized by artificial intelligence, with increasing numbers of individuals utilizing AI-powered chatbots for various aspects of their romantic interactions, from drafting messages on dating apps to analyzing compatibility. AI tools like ChatGPT and Riz are gaining popularity. Startups like YourMoveIt.ai and Amori offer services such as drafting messages, analyzing conversations, and evaluating profiles. These platforms cater to a diverse user base, including introverts. Yeah, no shit. Individuals navigating cultural changes, those living in their basement with their mothers. Kidding. Just added that in there. And those new to online dating. Even Pete with no personality can use these.
Yep.
However, concerns about the authenticity of connections and ethical implications arise as reliance on AI in dating grows. It's like every article now, and look, we're thinking it too. So, I mean, I'm not really, sometimes I'll give the articles a hard time, but, but we're kind of raising the concerns ourselves, like talking about these things. But every article on AI ends with all these wonderful things it does, and it ends with, but it could be used for harm.
Yeah. Could go bad.
It kind of tells you.
I know I've seen guys use these, like on Instagram. I've seen guys posting, like how I matched with 1,000 women in New York City. But I've never heard of these. I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I just, dude, I guess you're an introvert. I use the dating apps, and it's not like I have some fancy script. You say hello,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you don't need some funny ass pickup line. And if the person's not reciprocating, maybe keep on swiping, dude.
Yeah. There's an old book that's called She's Just Not That Into You.
Yeah.
Or He's Not That Into You.
Bro, if she's not into you, don't chase it. It's a lie. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm pretty busy. Would it be nice to kind of have an auto conversation to get to the meat and potatoes, maybe?
Yeah. I just said they're teeing it up. All you got to do is show up. You got to show up for the day. Train that bot. It's like got it all down.
Well, that was my thought when you read this was, all right, so it gets you the date, but then you got the date.
Yeah.
You better be carrying that same flow and energy into the date, or you're going to piss them off even more, probably.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. I may live with my parents, but we've got room for you. There you go. That was free. You can have that one. Pete.
That was a good one.
It's
master marketer / poet right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just the applications of AI. Yes.
They just come to you. You can't resist. They just come out.
They just come out. They flow out of me like the salmon of Capistrano.
Which is why we love you.
Oh, flirty, but not too flirty. But think about it. You said you can set up your whole week. You do nothing. Like you train the chatbot. And all right, I want dates on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And you feed it like, I don't know, 40 profiles from Tinder or wherever that you like.
Yeah.
And you just let it go to town, baby. And you know,
I've seen that service, but I think it's people like assistants
doing it for you.
Yeah. Where it's like, all right, it's Friday. You've got this tonight, this tomorrow, this Sunday. It's interesting.
You know what? I think we're got far off to where, no one likes to really talk to anyone anyway. Like anymore, it seems like we're not far off from, so everything's moved to text, but having like your own personal assistant chatbot that literally you've trained so well, it analyzes how you've responded, how you've dealt with it'll analyze like your text messages for the last 10 years.
Wow.
And it knows how you manage responses to everything. And it just does it on auto. Like it knows, what your calendar is. So it knows what you can and can't fit in. It knows, what you're open to, what you're not. I mean, almost every scenario could almost be answered by that chatbot. I mean, we're pretty much here.
Be careful dating coaches because AI is here to stay, baby.
Yeah. But even beyond dating coaches, like any interaction whatsoever that you have, like even like I could build a train chatbot, like to probably interact with my wife, like on my text messages, like how I'd answer the same things, like it knows on Tuesday, I'm kind of normally grouchy and my wife wants to go somewhere Tuesday night, inevitably to go buy something for the kids. And I always say no. And so it would know how to work its way through that gently. Like, I'm just super busy at work, but if you want to go, we can go. Oh, no, we don't have to. Well, okay, if we don't have to, then let's not. Yeah. That's how that conversation would go. And like the chatbot would just do that for you. And so you come home and just be like, hey, honey, how are you? And then on your way home, you've put your AirPods in. It would fill you in on the conversations you had all day, or it had on your behalf, like a condensed version.
Nice little cliff notes.
Bird hit you up about going out on Friday with the guys. We said no because we know Nash has a game. Cindy, your accountant hit you up, wants you to fill out all those TPS reports. We told her to fuck off because we know you didn't want to do them until next month. And Bobby called and he wants you to help him move on Saturday, and we told him that you threw out your back. Oh, good. Done. There's the week.
Bot.
There it is. And sponsored by Angie's.
Oh my God.
Or what I mean,
literally.
There it is. We're not far from that. I'm telling you. Like, that's like the next. So if somebody's developing that
we're already chatting with bots. I was dealing with the passport issue and I'm talking to a bot for 10 minutes yesterday.
Did you know it was a bot?
Yeah, they disclosed it. They said, you'll be with a chat bot and unless you request a real person, which I did. So, but I will say it does streamline things because the bot, I feel like, collects kind of the general info and then they're giving the person kind of the summary.
Yeah.
So it's doing it in a way, but I'm still having to input the info.
Yeah. And I'll say this. So here's the business implication, practical application. If these things can be built very inexpensively now, if you do not have a up-to-date contextual AI chatbot on your website, you're behind. You totally should have this. It can be, this is not the annoying ones that aren't helpful. You can build actually really helpful ones that reduce your customer service needs and a lot of other things if done right.
Yeah.
And they're not very expensive. And if you don't have one, you should already, or call us. But I'm telling you, like, this technology for interacting with humans back and forth and the learning ability of these models, software, whatever you want to call it, is at such a high level, you can streamline a lot of your customer service business and needs in a much more human way. And so you need to be thinking about this. If you own a business, you've got heavy like customer service needs, different things, and most people are, but even smaller companies, because this isn't like, oh, that's just for a big company. Even if you're a life insurance firm, like individual, like you could streamline 90% of your business with a freaking bot. You can hire like AI generated like salespeople that are on the phone. Like that exists. It's crazy. That have been taught, the scripts and how to respond, different things like that. This stuff's here. So we'll see. It's not just for old Ralphie in the basement. Trying to get him some dates lined up.
You get a date.
I could be a writer for one of those, man. Like come up with some lines.
Hey, you can ghostwrite for me anytime.
Yeah. All right. Video of a man wearing Apple Vision Pro prompts a reminder from police to cross the streets the old-fashioned way. The San Diego Police Department issued a reminder for pedestrian safety after video surfaced showing a man wearing the Apple Vision Pro augmented headset crossing a street while accessing a virtual menu. The video posted on Instagram generated attention, prompting the police to emphasize the importance of crossing streets without distractions. The department urged pedestrians to keep virtual experiences on the sidewalk. Yes, keep them where you won't get hit by a car, but you just annoy the shit out of everybody on the street, on the sidewalk. And cross streets the traditional way. Another video later showed the man accessing a music menu while crossing the street, highlighting the potential distractions of wearable technology. You think?
I mean, I told you the video I saw, the dude pulled over driving a Cybertruck wearing the Apple Vision Pro. It's like, the fuck?
Well, I mean, in theory, you could see right out in front of yourself because it's got the cameras and they're, in real time and everything. But if you've got 18 windows open, on that thing while you're walking, there's no way you're paying attention.
Check his Tinder chatbot while he's driving his Cybertruck.
There's 100% chance, and I don't wish for it, and it's going to be sad, so I'm not making light of it. But someone is going to die driving or walking with one of these things on any second. Probably lucky this guy didn't.
Well, I mean, it's already a danger just with headphones walking. And, if I'm crossing streets, whatever, I notice that sometimes. And I see it all the time. I might be pulling up and someone just crosses the street because they're in La La Land just with headphones. And now you've got that times 10.
And isn't the whole point of these things so that you don't have to move? Like you can sit there and it takes you anywhere, like in a way. Like I know it can augment your world around you, but I don't know.
I just don't feel like I need to see the world in my iPhone menu at the same time.
No. But
look at the phone.
Be safe out there, people. This comes to us from Marketing Week, marketingweek.com. There's marketingdive.com, Marketing Week, Marketing News, but this is marketingweek.com. From one of the brands that's kicking ass and taking names, for sure, Liquid Death, also just known as canned water.
Sparkling flavored water.
And this comes to us from one of their founders. We win if we make people laugh. Liquid Death on its unconventional approach. Murder your thirst. The American Water brand has disrupted a category with humor and an edgy packaging design. Keeping that rebellious spirit intact will be key to its future growth, its lead marketer tells us. Incongruously, that's a word I really enjoy. Named water brand Liquid Death has grown quickly and impressively. Incongruously. I just
horrible.
Horrible word.
Yeah.
Its explanation for the success it has enjoyed is approaching its marketing like a creator rather than a brand. Is this back to what we were talking about earlier? Stop thinking about selling. Start thinking about entertaining and educating and branded content. This is exactly what they're saying here. Similar type approach, but I will say, they've put on a master class for building it's water, man. It's freaking not even like the best water on it. It's like they've put water in a can and it's all about the brand.
They've done a great job. They sold, I was a huge consumer of Liquid Death when it first came out.
Yeah.
A lot of my military buddies were on it early. And like you said, I love sparkling water, but I see a lot of bros might not be reaching for a LaCroix or a bubbly, where they're like, oh yeah, dude. Like,
there's so many puns and like things that could obviously murder your thirst.
Murder your thirst is so good. So good.
Yes. Coke passed away.
It's the perfect example of like you said, it's water. It's canned water.
Canned water.
It shows the power of creative marketing.
It's not even in like a Uber like tastes great packaging. It's in a can. And people are drinking it. They're killing it. The puns never end.
Also it's a 16-ounce can. It's like a nice little tall boy.
Yeah. It's cheaper. I think my energy drinks are cheaper.
It's not expensive. Yeah.
It's just like, that just shows you the power of brand when done right. And the power of developing a category specifically targeted to a younger audience that wanted, and they're doing something good. We want people drinking more water. We need them drinking more water. And so, how you don't get them drinking more water is putting it in a boring thing and going, drink more water right now. You need to drink more water. No, they made it entertaining and made you laugh. And they go, well, shit, I'll drink some more water. I have some liquid death. I'm, and empower you.
I'm going to murder this shit right now. Give me that.
Yeah.
I'm hydrated AF.
I got to go to rehab to get off this liquid death. I mean, it's brilliant and it's creative and it's hard to be brilliant and creative. And this is why everyone doesn't do it, but it takes a thoughtful approach, an approach that leverages the time period that we're in and understands who their target is. Now, I don't see a lot of 60-year-olds sitting around drinking liquid death, but that's not the point. Point is that they've become a multi-million-dollar, tenfold brand, targeting a younger generation that wants to be a little irreverent, but also wants the association of being tied to that brand and building a community around it. So, like them, glad we had this on here. I've always appreciated their marketing, and it ties into, look, they're a creator, not a brand. They're a creator, not a company. That's how they think of themselves. And I think that's the lens. You have to force yourself into that lens. It's hard.
I agree. I mean, I feel like that's what we do, not to toot our own horn in a way. Yeah. But
that's exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, be relatable, talk about shit that as a real person, but try to educate and entertain and not just go, well, here's the news and there's this and there's that. And,
we've had enough of that, I think. I think people are over that.
Exactly. Finally today, YouTube dominates TV streaming in the U.S. Per Nielsen's latest report, reveals that YouTube maintains its dominance in TV streaming in the U.S., holding the top spot for the 12th consecutive month with 8.6% of TV viewing. YouTube surpasses Netflix, which holds 7.9%. More people are watching YouTube than Netflix. Platform boasts over 1 billion hours of daily content watched on TVs, indicating a preference for user-generated videos over traditional TV shows, particularly among Gen Z viewers. I love it when our show starts to build all towards the same point. And that's what this is. It's all building. You see what's happening here? We're the TV. This is the TV. We're the broadcast. We are the TV station. And brands can be TV stations and people can be TV stations. Now I'm using that language because that's what people understand. Gen Z don't really understand that. They just say, this is what I watch. This is what I feel like watching, but 45 to 65-year-olds think of it as still okay, what TV show am I watching? Well, and 1 billion hours of daily content watched on TV a day. Sometimes we talk about stats and it doesn't sink in. It just becomes numbers. But this is the future of media. This is what people do. They don't necessarily want to watch a overly produced, unauthentic take on anything, even the show. So if people watch what they want to watch, this isn't a parlor trick. This is just the reality of what people are interested in now. Yeah. And you either embrace this or you don't. But let me tell you, if you don't, it's to your own peril. All we could do, we could lead you to the liquid death. I mean water, but we can't make you drink it. Lest we duck your head under. We're going to duck your head under. We're going to murder your thirst. I love it. That's all we have today. I hope you'll go listen. Chris and I have a show called Vibe Science, Alternative Wellness. We are making alternative wellness the only alternative. We live in a world with overhype on pharmaceuticals and, the old way of medicine and wellness. We're shining the light on all the other ways for personalized wellness, recovery, and treatments. So give that a shout. Vibe Science. You'll see that linked in both Chris and I's profile as we go forward. So we appreciate you giving that some love. Any final words, my friend?
Hope everyone has a great weekend and go murder your thirst.
Yes. Branded content, baby. The future of media. Stay hydrated. You know where to find us, the radcast.com. Search for Liquid Death. Search for branded content. That search bar is underused, but it's got high value. You can find all the highlight clips, full episode, links to all of our social profiles. Stay safe out there. We appreciate you for making us number one. We'll see you next time on the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.